Hello, good evening. Welcome to T.T.V Presents It's Not Reality Bites, The Vampire Lestat, Episode 6, featuring the songs Get in Line, Brutal Love, and Dancing with Myself, which was written by Billy Idol for a little band back in the day known as Gen X. We are covering the failures 52, Side A, and 55, Side B, in Montreal. We've head home. I am your host, Jamie, along with David, Christy, and Brian. Hello, my friends. And I'm going to start with Brian tonight. What did you think of this week's episode and the penultimate of the season?
Well, I give this 2 beheadings, which on a scale of 0 to 2 beheadings, 2 beheadings is good. I like that. I'll tell you what I liked about this episode. I really liked it. I don't know if it's my favorite. I need to sit with it a minute. But wasn't it nice to see 2 characters we like be sort of happy and spend time with them and sort of focus on them for the episode, and they're having little
Oh, yeah.
bickering sessions, and I found this a really pleasant setup, and I thought, "Man, what a sweet episode," and then we go to the park, and with that, I'll kick it over to Christy for her opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was really great. It seemed like they actually worked out a lot of little issues in their relationship too. Like they really both were able to let down their guard, be a little vulnerable with each other. But I mean, it's all because of Claudia, right? Thanks, Claudia. Thanks, Claudia. I mean, if
Uh,
one beheading does a little bit of damage, 2 beheadings probably
That
makes it
counts.
explode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think,
I-
David?
I'm gonna, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. For me, best episode of the season. And I'll tell you why.
Oh,
And I'll
wow.
tell you
Okay.
why. Because it paced a little more like season 1. And so there was that reminiscence of the season 1, but the scene where Lestat was singing and you weren't sure who he was singing to, and then it became apparent. And then Louis finding out about Sophia, Gabriella, and Brian, I don't know how you could call that a little bickering back and forth, because that was a full-on nervous breakdown. Lestat's party literally threw up.
Oh,
Um,
and
he
we found
absolutely
out.
All
had a
over the shoes.
breakdown, and then you go then we go to the witch, and the witch is brings Claudia back, and Claudia's got some news. I hate both of your asses. I can't
There was a
stand
lot.
either one of you. And that was incredible. So up to that point, already the best episode of the season. And then they're sitting on the bench, which of course you're supposed to think back to when they were first met, when Louis was still human. They would sit on the bench, and all of a sudden, boom. And I go, this is it. And I like the music. So
Those are all wins. They are. I would say that, I don't know. I kind of have a sneaking suspicion that this episode for me is the one where it's like, upon first watch, I'll go, this was a really good episode, not my favorite. But then I watch it again, and then I change my mind and I go, this is my favorite.
I did watch it a second time.
There's so much going on. And of course, I'm taking notes as well. But the one thing that really stuck out to me that I did love about this episode is that when we were in the car with them, it really felt like this is the first time we were getting to see them from our perspective and not filtered through each other's. It felt very, it's like it wasn't overworked. You know what I mean? Like, this is 2 people that have history, that love each other, and this is just them sitting in the car talking. This is how it would really happen in real life. So I really enjoyed that a lot. And then, of course, all the things in the story. But one of the things I really loved about this episode is that it had way more than one phrasing of words that I had to start and write down. And I'm going to go through the quick list of what I have saved. Reading them all in order kind of gives a very interesting synopsis of the episode,
boy.
actually.
One-liners.
One-liners. We got from Iggy to Burner. What's with the tan, Dan? Ready to eat your own? Justice for Antoinette. Dick Salt. It's your boy, Daniel Malloy. And most importantly, you're hitting the same vagina you spent your first 9 months in. Put them all in one episode. I love it. It's great. It's a little bit crazy. And I believe that maybe the other two of you, Christy and David, you might catch this, but a little inside note for Brian, because I do know he will. As soon as he yelled justice for Antoinette, I yelled justice for Gail immediately. So there you go. You haven't heard one of those in a while. Justice for Gail. So that list of things in their order is kind of how we're going to break down this episode. So okay.
Word is David
with,
has a lot of thoughts about Dick Salt. I'm just going to go out on a limb and
Dick
say
Salt
that.
is going to be his own. He's going to watch Instagram for it to drop for David's 10 seconds about Dick Salt. Okay.
So like
let's jump into the first.
Okay,
let's just jump into the first scene of it, and then we can, because there's so much to talk about. But,
so much.
So okay, first and foremost, goodbye Lestat and hello Sheridan Blackwood. Brian, are you of any relation to this Blackwood?
No.
I hope not.
Okay.
No, right. but can we? I want to point out one thing I found shocking, but it quickly my fear went away.
One thing in this episode you found shocking,
right off the bat, when we learn like this is 2 years to the day they formed at the apartment, I was like, oh wow, I thought this was going to be like a 6-month tour on the road.
No, he made them. No. He said in an earlier episode he made them practice for a whole year.
Right, but like this, but obviously they've been apart and they've separated out and they're getting ready to go do this concert. And I thought it was interesting to put that in perspective that this arc of this season is really 2 years.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Right at the very beginning, he puts his hand out of the coffin. He's checking. That's the review of the album. Yep. The album that they re-recorded has already dropped, and they gave him like a 3 out of 5. Like it's not, or a 3.5 out of 10 or something. It wasn't well reviewed.
Well, that's what happens when you take the album that was made for the humans' ears and then changed it so that it was for the vampires' ears. It's just a bunch of, you know.
Bunch of stuff you can't hear because it's too high and registered, and only the dogs.
That's what happens when you join a real human band.
No humans left now. Yeah.
No. So yeah, okay, and it's 2 years to the day. It's Halloween. The boys are back in Montreal. They're at Lestat's loft, and there are big plans underway. They've reached out to Merrick, a Mayfair witch, and there is to be a rehearsal for the largest planned vamp gathering, about 50,000 in attendance, and where Lestat and his band plan on playing all of these songs that they rewrote for the vampires' ears. Then we see like the passports, we see the different names that Lestat's going to use.
And both of those names come from the books. So
great. So
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then
they were kind of like little Easter eggs for the future. So
for all the readers out there,
yeah, we like that.
And then they're goofy names though. Like when you think about Lestat, like
Clarence.
I about died when Louis said, "I'd like to see you on stage." Going, "This is the vampire Clarence."
Yeah,
yeah, it's a little dorky.
Now Clarence does have a stutter. He does want you to rock.
Yes, exactly. That is Clarence. That's not Lestat, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so first thing that they need to do is go tidy up the end of the docuseries with Daniel Malloy. There is a meeting in the back of what I'm assuming is Louis' restaurant.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. And it's a restaurant for vampires.
For the vampires only. Mm-hmm. And there's a descendant there of the Del Lion Courts to drink from as a special treat, as a little special get together for the ending of this docuseries. Then the thing is there was like a lot of like undertone in this scene, right? Like very
from Tandan.
You know, a lot of snarkiness to Dan. Dan snarking
Like,
back, then
whoa.
bringing up Sophia. You know, which
Has
we
he
knew
met
that.
Sophia?
And
Well, I
hey,
think I'll
can
meet
we
her
say
tonight.
shout out to the writers that the week after the marriage of Taylor Swift that
Oh,
we have Daniel Malloy say,
Taylor,
"Hey,
yeah.
Taylor and Travis, have we set a date yet?"
Yeah, that was good.
Fantastic. No?
Well,
Anyway.
and one of his great lines is, "So Jesus sees a guy coming with a hammer and nails and says, 'I forgot my keys in the car.'"
Yeah, that's good. That
Yeah.
is a good one.
He's
So
snarky.
there's this
But
resentment there. We're building that up. But isn't
and
it
it was
funny
really
to
good.
me?
They were
Like,
quick. The quips back and forth. Really nice. Yeah.
yes,
Very snappy
it's because
dialogue this episode.
they're all professional bitches at this point. So
Yes.
they are the mean girls table at this point. But yeah, there's a lot of
Daniel,
icky vibe
yeah,
going on there.
he professes that he's in love.
Yep.
Yeah, or whatever
And he
you
doesn't say
say.
it's Armand because it's like, girl, they would have been like, seriously.
Yeah,
You're sitting at the table with two of his exes.
But
That ain't gonna
don't
go
you all
good.
think? Don't you think that during this scene they're missing the darkness in him because they're happy that they're not on guard
'cause
like they usually are?
They're enjoying the repartee between the two of them messing with Daniel like they used to.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah, it's
Lestat and him
normal
have
for
always
them, yeah.
kind of had that quippiness back and forth. But it felt, I don't think they've ever really had, well, he came to save him. So there was some fun there, right? They're like buddies that hang out. But Louis and him in Dubai actually had some real emotional breakthroughs together. Like that doesn't bond you a little bit, right?
I
I
mean,
would think. It was kind of weird.
maybe after you're a
Oh, wait, but Louis is
vampire,
selfish. Everybody knows that.
he's selfish. He's
Yeah.
selfish, yes. But also, I mean, when you've become a vampire, your boyfriend is somebody like Armand. Like, there's influence. There's a lot of influence there for
Right.
you to forget.
So maybe
those
maybe they
things.
just think like this is Daniel as a vampire. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
So
But Louis did notice something was off because they were in the car and Louis says something was off with Daniel tonight. And then there's that whole riff about, that's because he's weird.
Yeah, so
And
that's what I say. So
and
there's
he's
the,
mad
like, the
because
comments in that, but I think they're more like, I think it's very easy to look at someone like Daniel and feel like that attitude is just being pissy because this docuseries is coming to an end, and so is this bag of gold, like that. It's the thing that's driven, as far as they know, it's the thing that's driven Daniel for the last 2 years.
But what do you make out of the part where Lestat says, "Did you feel him try to get in their minds?" And Louis says he got in mine. What was Louis thinking about that Daniel picked up on? See what I'm saying? There had to be a reason for the line.
Assuming,
then maybe something else will come out.
I'm assuming, that it's going to be something that that they're definitely going to bring back. But if they don't, I mean, it could be anything. Like, it could be about Claudia. It could be about anything that logically makes sense in that moment. We know that they were like they wanting to do the thing with Claudia, but like dreading it. So I would assume
it's weird.
Sitting
they
there.
weren't sure. They kept saying, this is a bad idea. We shouldn't do it.
Yeah. Well,
and they kept going, which thing? Which thing? The concert or the thing at midnight?
Well, Louis thinks both. Lestat, I think, genuinely thinks this is going to help Louis. Like, come on, he's got to let this go.
Well, I don't think they were expecting what they got.
No. But before we get over to the Mayfair Witch, we are going to take the car ride over to rehearsal. And in this scene, in the car, it kind of, like I said, it sort of gives us a reveal about the true Lestat and Louis when they're together. Just like very comfortable, familiar feeling. The admittance that Antoinette was in fact used to get a rise out of Louis, and that Lestat has to stop using
but she was fun,
as an excuse for his destructive choices.
Yeah.
Like, this is friendship conversation. Right?
It's like the things like they've not spoken.
It may be a little bit more than a friendship conversation.
No, but like for them to speak this honestly to each other, they usually don't, or they haven't in 100 years. So
yeah, we even got the moment, where I remember exactly what the wordage was, but Louis says the thing over to Lestat, and like he does the shy face, It was cute.
See,
It felt so normal, like such
They
a
do have good
normal
I
chemistry.
was even thinking like Louis was thinking they were reconciling, and then
Yeah,
that made what happened at rehearsal and right afterwards so much more impactful on Louis.
Yes. And it also
Well,
made me
Lestat,
realize something that I hadn't realized. I don't know if if you've already caught this and I'm just slow to the catch of this, but as I'm sitting there listening to them have the conversation, it occurs to me that Sam Reed's accent isn't French anymore. He's been away long enough now that he's picking up, like, he has a more Americanized Canadian accent from being around his band members all of the time. It's like that
you think
accent is
so?
faded out. It's nearly gone altogether.
But he
I
still
thought
said
that was a really.
Montreal like a Frenchman.
Oh, I think there's going to be some words that always do come out with some
Yeah.
French flair, but
See,
once you hear it, once you see, you'll recognize, like, that is not the same accent as season 1. Like, it's much thinner. It's Americanized or
do you think it was?
Canadianized.
Is it partly showing? This is what it could be. It could be showing how relaxed he is in that
Yeah.
situation, right?
Yes.
That he's just kind of, because like when he gets angry, he gets very,
Yes, when we saw him at the table, the negotiation table,
the
right?
French. It gets very French. Maybe he's using that as
Gets
part of his character, right?
worked up.
He's a good actor, y'all.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool, and like I said, I wanted to say it because it
Yeah.
deserves to be noted that Sam Reed is an exceptional actor.
He's really good.
Yeah.
I liked that they're kind of like in their banter. They're like, he teases him like, why is your restaurant just, walking distance to my house? Like, why?
Yeah,
Right.
why
So
are
they're
close?
still on the way to to the rehearsal. They're still playing this kind of like, they're kind of flirty, but it's kind of like guards are still up, right?
Yeah. Protective flirting.
Louis.
I agree with that, but the thing that struck me, and I think why I like this episode, is their faces are not set. They're not angry. Like they're comfortable. Like they're
They don't
together.
seem on guard like they've been.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a comfort in the two of them together that we haven't seen in a long time. There are little smiles and ribbing, and we recall why they love each other in this episode.
And it's funny because I think Louis was not going to reconcile with Lestat until he really hit rock bottom with Regina and then had to call Lestat because no one else will understand. And him showing that first vulnerability, and Lestat was there for him, even though he was going through his own breakdown, right?
Yeah.
So,
and even, you want to know why? Because Lestat's a much better mother than Gabrielle.
He is.
He gets it, right?
Yeah.
So they get to the rehearsal, and speaking of Gabrielle, the mother finally gets to meet the man, and Gabriella has a moment. I think it's a really important moment, where she's getting the crooning love tunes being sung in her general direction, and we watch her like take it in and feel it like it's for her, and then the realization, and she turns and looks, and it's for Louis. I think this is the first time that Gabrielle has ever experienced in her entire life as a mother to Lestat in any way, shape, or form that he was choosing somebody else over her.
Mm-hmm.
It was, and no words,
even
like nothing was said.
But I don't think she realized it initially.
No,
she didn't.
Not until
when they
that
walked
moment.
in, she was very like, "Oh, who's this handsome man? Come sit by me, please." But she is checking him out, and she thinks she's the head.
Yeah, this is like Armand again, right?
Yes, and the way she sits there, very haughty, but also very like, and how it slowly turns when she sees it was beautiful. Good acting again on everyone. It's a good show, guys.
Yeah, I'm just.
But
you
Sam
can see her
was
pulse,
incredible
Oh
in the
my
fight
God.
scene. I mean, he really looked like he was pained.
Yeah, there's okay.
And Louis was being a douche like he normally is.
It generally needs to be. I don't think it needs to be stated, anybody who watches this show, but this episode's performances were, I think, the best we've ever seen out of,
And that's saying something because there's been quite a few, right? But this was
yeah,
oof.
yeah, it was, there was a lot of big moments, and it started there at that rehearsal too. I did giggle when like Lestat's like basically skipping across the stage and does the little air twirl.
And oh my gosh, okay, so that
It's
part where
silly.
they're rehearsing and he's jumping up and twirling around and landing straight from the books. Like he's
Oh, it
doing
was
things that
so cute.
humans would not be able to do on stage and
Yeah,
showing off while he does
show
it.
off. Hmm.
Right when they stopped rehearsal, when the two of them are still talking, right before he comes down, he starts singing the song that he wrote for Louis in New Orleans. He kind of sings a little couple lines of it, which was kind of like, oh, somebody's having the feels. And then,
Yeah.
then they go off on their way. And she says, don't be late for our flight. We're leaving right after the show tomorrow night. Right. And
Yes.
make sure you have your stuff packed. I can't pack if I don't know where I'm going. And she says, Cadiz. I don't know. We'll see.
Who's there?
What's there?
Yeah.
What's there?
What could it? I don't know. What could it possibly be? Well, I don't know, because that's for another day. Because
That's for
now
tomorrow.
the boys have got to get back in the car because they have another errand they have to run, and this time it's to awaken the spirit. But as they're in the car, they receive like a text or an alert with a link, and it's revenge porn. Thanks, Daniel. You
Yeah.
guys are great. You're stand-up friends. Couldn't ask for better
Guess what?
guys.
That's not how you get a Pulitzer. I'm just saying.
They're just gonna get all the heads. And yeah, and so the truth comes out to Louis about Sophia slash Gabriella slash his mom slash his fledgling slash his lover and all of the things in between. And then the big scene, right? The big scene
Mhm.
between the two of them. It's got snot and tears and vomit. Probably, yeah. Afterwards, there was some blood.
And
It was
and we
messy.
now
It
know
was messy.
that vampires in fact can have panic attacks because it was
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It
What
It
did
was
they do
really
after
good.
the
But
argument? Let's go get a beer.
I thought was
I
what
like
really
that.
interesting about this scene is I think Louis acts completely appropriate. Like it's how we would all act, right? He didn't know anything about any of this, and it's like, dude, how could we be super in love and you didn't tell me none of this? Then he says, you had her picture hanging up in our bedroom. Like, dude, he like has all the things. Things start
There's a
clicking,
lot of
right?
layers. There's a
When you
lot of
find out a
layers.
secret, and then you're like, oh my God, and that's this and this. But you know what? They come to a consensus so quickly, even though it's shocking. He understands Lestat or tries to put himself in that place. Lestat explains himself well.
Hmm.
Like I think they really
I like
they
when he
wanted to
says,
understand. It was
I
really
like when
great.
he yells and says, it's unnatural. And he says, we're
We're
unnatural.
vampires,
Like,
yo. It's
everything
more
about our
unnatural than us.
existence is against nature.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
But
that
I thought
was,
it's
his
funny.
real trump card was getting to say, "What about your messed up thing with Regina? And when you called
mhm,
me, I came, no judgment, and
yeah.
I was there for
No
you."
judgment. That was it.
And that was it, no judgment, and it just sort of breaks Louis, and I think it's
He goes,
interesting.
oh yeah.
This is the first time both of them have admitted to each other. I made this note. To Lestat, Louis says, "I'm selfish. I realize I've always been selfish." And Lestat says to Louis, "I'm a monster." They both like admit their shame to each other in this, and that's the first time they've been totally honest with each other, which is why what makes what happened so sad. But anyway, I think that's why they reconcile so quick. They both drop every defense.
Yeah.
Although Louis did compare Lestat to Armand, which I thought might have been a deal breaker.
Mm,
Well, yeah, when he
yeah.
starts like this is some Armand level machination that you got this. Well, he wasn't plotting and planning all this. He just tell you because that was a wound for him and he didn't feel like sharing it. Easier
Yeah.
to tell people your mom's dead, right? Oh no, she died. And
Yeah.
that's just how he dealt with it. Um, yeah, and I think that having him be able to sing to Louis, like, kind of opened that door
Hmm.
of vulnerability. And Lestat did it. McNeely, that was the only way Lestat could open that door, was through song, right?
That's when he tells the
Um,
truth. Yeah.
and when they're in the car and Louis says to him, "Oh my God, this is your thing. Like, you are amazing. I cannot believe," because he'd come to that other show, but I think his pride was so hurt at that song. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That maybe he wasn't really putting it together, like how great he is, but he sees it, and it's like he's seeing this layer of this person he loves that he never knew before,
Yeah.
right? Which, that was really great.
And
Do
they
you
seem
ever
to
really know
like
someone?
breathe through,
Yeah.
the catastrophe that was happening. Then they decide, like David said, they're gonna go get a drink.
Let's go get a drink. Or let's
But
sit in a bar and
then,
pretend we're drinking.
well, right. Well, they're sitting there having their drinks. You'll notice that Lestat puts a drop or two of his own blood into Louis's drink.
Well, I
And that could
mean,
be as a gesture, but it could perhaps unknowingly be a life vest down the line for somebody. Uh,
he does it to his own first, because we know that human food tastes like paste.
yep, don't want that.
Probably even the Bud Light tastes like paste. So, he makes it a little more palatable. And then after a little bit, because he sees Louis not drinking it, he does the same thing for him, which is really nice. But also kind of like a very sexy move too, because it's kind of like, they used to exchange blood with each other. So it's
Yeah,
kind of
it's
like, all
like,
right,
you know what it is?
you,
It's like
you want
tongue
to taste
kissing.
me? You want to taste me a little bit? You
That's a
like that? You
vampire's
remember
tongue
how that?
kiss right
You
there.
remember how I taste? Mhm, mhm.
Christy, you need
And
to
when
stop talking about this immediately. I'm uncomfortable.
and then when Louis takes
I
the
feel
sip,
violated.
no, when Louis takes the sip, you're gonna get it now. He does like he closes his eye, puts his head back, like he's like really like taking it in. Like when you sip and you smell through the thing to get the. Oh, it was very. Yeah, they were. That was. Yeah,
Yeah, there was some purring.
there was some. There was some of that going on. Anyway, good job, boys.
Well, after their drink, they got to
Let's
go
go
to
see that witch.
the real job at hand, and they arrive at the location of the séance.
It's
Um,
Louis Lestat's house. Let me go back to this.
and let me first and foremost, let's just say, the two had it coming, but like, did you guys expect? What did you expect when this scene started? You knew that this was going to be the thing that happened. They were going to have the séance. Where in your head did it go? Did it go here? I know, Christy, it probably did some, because there is some to this that's in the book, though some things are
Yep,
different.
a seance. I didn't know, because it's still so early in the book series, that I didn't know, would this be like the seance that happens later in the books for Claudia, or what would it? Because that has some weird repercussions, and I didn't know if they would do this here. Regardless of what they did, I mean, maybe we could see her again. I can't believe this would be all we'll ever see from Delaney in this show, because she is so great and has,
Mm-hmm.
wow, a fierce, like,
Yeah, there's.
oh my God, the
I feel
rage.
like every single line that she has ever delivered is delivered with passion.
Yeah.
That you just don't see everybody have. It's just fantastic. I look forward to following her career further. Like, I think she might be my biggest takeaway from this whole series. So, yes, absolutely. I was stoked about this. Like, I mean,
I mean, she told the truth.
yeah, it's like there's part of you, you're like, oh my God, ow, ow, I'm so sorry, guys. But then also, like, yeah, you just want to stand behind her and be like, she said that. Like,
Some
it
of that,
was a
some of
lot.
the stuff I didn't like was she admits that she lied about Lestat to Louis to get
Mm-hmm.
him on her side and to get him going. He completely believed her, because that's, his little baby girl, and why she wouldn't lie to him, right? But
Yeah.
like, yeah, he didn't threaten her on the
Turns out
train.
she
He didn't
loathes
do,
them, though. So,
and then said liked him better.
mm-hmm.
He knows who he is, right? That's
And
that's tough
that's
too.
why we say so many times that Lestat and Claudia are very similar.
Yeah,
in a
I don't
lot of
know that
ways.
thing where there's like the parent and kid are too much alike, and then they fight. You
That's
know
it.
that thing?
That's
That's
it.
what's going on. That's them. Hmm.
Yeah, so it was a lot, and it was also really heartbreaking. It was devastating, not so much for them, but for Claudia, because Claudia's death already like hurts deep.
Tragic. Yeah,
But then you find out that there's no love, and there's no
she can't
forgiveness,
find
and there's
her.
no
Yeah.
peace, there's no Madeline, there's nothing. There's nothing for this person who she just wanted to be happy.
And it ticked her off even more because Louis had the dress that she burned in, and she had her on the wall like a shrine, and that was the
Yeah.
dress that Madeline had made for her,
Hmm.
and that's what they brought here for the seance. So she's wearing a dress that Madeline made for her. And oh,
And that
layers.
guts me. That guts me because what that means is that she wouldn't have come over. She was drawn because of the Madeline in the
Oh,
dress.
I betcha.
And all she is doing
If
is
she's
hunting
chasing
for
her in the
her and
afterward,
trying to
yep.
find her. And then that's
Oh my
dangled in
God.
front of her, and she sees these two. Yeah, that
I
hurts a
I
lot.
thought that coda on the end of this was just a gut punch, and basically her saying like I'm just in eternal torment and I can't find the one person I want to find. And the reason I'm in all this is you two and all your ideas and everything you've built up about me, a shrine, all of it's bullshit. It's all lies. And I didn't love you the way you thought I did. And no, I'm not at peace. No, I don't wish you anything. I hope you end up in hell. And like, I can't imagine. I mean, like one thing. I mean, this should give you some closure. I mean, you know where
Yeah.
you stand by the end of this,
Yeah.
but I thought Delaney's acting in this was incredible, and the detail in the show they kept showing, which I hate because I've hurt my ankle when they kept
Oh
showing
yeah.
her
Oh
when they kept
God,
showing her
yeah.
feet and she'd walk, and I was like, oh God.
She kind of
But
like slid.
yes,
Oh,
but to answer your original question, Jamie, I thought this would go about 50% as far as it would go, and it went like way beyond how much content I thought we would get. I like that they expanded this and played it out on and basically gave this character like a soliloquy. This was like a Shakespearean soliloquy. Basically, she kind of gets, and those two have to sit there and shut their mouths and take it. And I
Mm-hmm.
really thought this was an acting highlight of the whole series.
Agreed.
hmm.
Yeah. On the after show, they talk about how they lost themselves, while filming it, where they just lost themselves watching her and her performance and kind of forgot that they were supposed to, you know,
Oh wait, that
act
was my
back.
line.
Yeah.
Don't screw that up, guys.
Yeah. And you don't get
Yeah.
to hear that about a lot of there's a lot of us nerds that like to watch, the behind the scenes and the making ofs. And I'm going to tell you, you don't hear that about a lot of actors, that they are so good at what they do that they're distracting the people working with them.
No, and she
So,
talked about how when she first got the scene, when the script came out, she was just like, "This is incredible." And I think she said after the second take, the director was happy with it, and she says, "No, I've got more. Can we
mhm.
do it again?" And he let her do it one more time,
Yeah,
and
it
Mhm.
she
was
said
really,
that's when it really came out.
it was
Yeah, I mean,
wonderful.
I
It was,
expected her to be mad at them. I did not expect all of, so like you said, the 50%, Brian. I didn't expect all the Madeline layers. Like, oh,
mm,
Yeah, that
mhm.
was really devastating. I mean, the fact that
well,
she's,
yeah.
Okay, also, can we just say, like, best entrance ever, because her entrance was literally just
She
head
knocked her tooth
slamming
out.
someone's face into the table.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
it
So,
no, that
broke
was
her
like a
tooth.
hard
I mean,
no. Yeah.
well, okay. So in preseason, we had seen pictures of this character, like they whatever, going like, "Who's that going to be? Who's that going to be?" And some of the book readers thought maybe that's Merrick. But we thought like that's weird, but maybe. And then when they'd seen the picture where she's missing one tooth, they're like, why would Merrick be missing a tooth? That's weird. But now it all makes sense. That was like really confusing us. She is very much like that in the books. I hope that how they did Merrick really good. Okay, because the Mayfair witches are not potions and spells. They are like telekinesis mind readers communing with spirits, like they can talk to the dead, that kind of like read your fortune kind of witch. And I really hope that they can, maybe they'll let Merrick go be on the Mayfair show. She was good. No.
They said
No.
that
No,
there
I
was
want
some
more
push.
from Eric than the Mayfair show.
Yeah,
Oh, but
right.
she'd come back. Well, I'm just saying, if we could
Maybe she
rescue
can
that show,
help
the shows could be
that show.
together. We are heading toward that. Well, this was the crossover. America's the crossover between them.
The little
Well, not
crossover,
the only
yes.
one. Well,
There are
there's a
more.
couple others actually.
Okay,
Anyway.
Merrick's too good for that show, is my point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She was really good. She was really
I
good.
watched it once because I wanted to know the story, and I am
Lisa
content
Rinna's
with
husband
that.
was on it.
He was. Well,
So-
did you hear
so
Lestat?
weird.
He asks Lestat, how do you know Merrick? And he says, oh, her, and I know her Uncle
Yep.
Cortland. That's Harry
Yep.
Hamlin.
Yep.
And I know him. How do you know him? Oh, we were in a book club together. We read your
with
book.
with
and
James Carville about playoff. Everyone
so
hated
great.
James.
It was good. That was so fun. That was so fun. Like I like that stupid stuff. It's so delightful. But
Well, before we leave this seance, we're going to let our listeners go into 5 seconds of webby darkness in search of each other while we take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back. All right, we're back. Did you find each other? Are we good? Brian, Christy, David, if I'm
everybody still have their
God.
heads. Everything okay? Okay.
It was a lot. I was looking hard, but I got you. So, okay, now after the ass chewing of the century, Lestat and Louis are like, what? What are they? Are they astounded? Are they hurt?
I think they're
are
in
they
just like
relieved?
They're in
shock.
complete shock. Yeah.
Complete shock.
Like,
Yeah.
what is the feeling we're getting from them?
They're just walking, going.
Yeah. Like what?
They're
What
like
is that?
if they were these Gen Z or alphas, they'd be like, bruh.
Yeah. Yes, they would. Yeah. I don't know. Was it like
Shock.
I feel like Louis felt almost like funny about it. Like there was part of him that thought, like, saw the humor of like all of it, because they both seemed to kind of like, they were shocked, but then there was this like, well, I guess we can move now, like that kind of like attitude, like.
And also when he's like,
guess we tried that out.
right, well, check that off. But now he really knows 100% that Regina has nothing to do with Claudia. So do you think that maybe that finally broke that last, even though Lestat had told him, do you think part of him wanted to think that maybe
Did you die when he called her
Maybe.
Fraudia?
that was
On the
good?
show? Lestat said that. That was awesome.
That's really good. I'm calling her Fraudia.
Yeah.
So clearly, the person in the after show we thought made it up did not.
Did not.
The writers made it up.
Yeah, they're funny.
The I don't know, the energy, it's like there was so much there, but also I don't know, I felt like they kind of felt like free. Like I think there's enough jerk in both of them where they're like, oh, you know what? Like that's terrible, but also kind of like, thank God.
Okay,
like we're good now.
But don't you think that's because even though she came with so much anger and she got all of that off her chest, she also cleared up some things that they were kind of blaming each other for.
That's true.
And so it's like, well, that takes that tarnish off, right? Because Lestat said one of his things about his book was, I didn't say those things to Claudia. I would never have said those things to Claudia. And if Louis believed them, and now it's like, oh, total vindication, it really probably colored his view of Lestat and that. Yeah. So I don't know. I wonder if that clears a lot of
Brought some
the
of the relief.
grossness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was
I-
something.
Well, and then in the great homage to episode 1, they did what they did when Louis was still human. They sat down on a bench to talk.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And I mean, that was a complete throwback to episode 1, Jamie, or 2? 1, I'm
I
pretty sure.
mean,
It
they
was
sit
a
in the bench in New Orleans the
Right.
entire time.
Right,
They
that's
sit on
fine.
the bench in Paris, even though it's
Yep.
Lestat in
a
spirit
ghost
form.
version of
They
him. That
those
was his
two, they
guilt.
love a
Right.
park bench.
Yes.
Right. So
Yeah.
it seemed totally natural that after that they would find a park bench and park
Yeah.
themselves.
I didn't think anything about it at all.
But
Neither did they.
I felt like this was like them kind of breathing out and like closing a chapter of a book. And
Mhm.
so much of this episode felt like so many problems between these two men came to a head
Right.
and are sort of resolved. And what's the big issue with Lestat? It's his mom. What's the big issue with Louis? It's Claudia. And those both sort of get
But
resolved.
and so many other things. The Antoinette of it. They talk about his brother jumping because there was a part of Louis thinking, did
I
Lestat
thought
make
it
him
was
jump?
Lestat.
Right?
Yep.
Like there's all these little things that they've wondered about. And they kind of came out in these little quick quips when they were fighting.
They were little.
But
It's little resentments, you know,
yeah, the
like
little
years
things
of
that you hold
these
off.
like
Yeah.
resentments. So I don't know.
So yeah, I feel like they're ready to put this behind them because what else did they have
I
to gripe about? It was like all
That's just it.
resolved.
I felt like they felt lighter. I mean, throughout the whole episode, they felt lighter, right? With the exception of the realizations, but even in like what I feel is like probably one of the most painful things that we've witnessed in this whole show, they still seemed way lighter than you would have thought they would be.
Hmm.
You're talking about moving to the desert because there's birds everywhere,
Okay,
you
but
know?
that was weird. I don't they at the beginning of the show, this episode, Lestat says, they said, what are you gonna do after this? Dan asked him.
Move to the
And
forest.
he said,
Dan.
I've been dreaming about forests and
Mhm.
pumpkins every night. And so he's thinking, I don't know if it's the Auvergne, but he's thinking of a forested area, like a, whatever. But Louis wants to be in the desert in a mobile home with two chairs and and you think like that is complete
And they're
opposites.
going to make meth and
I feel
hide from Uncle Hank.
I felt like that them both saying that in different parts of the episodes is showing us the viewers that even though they love each other, they're not on the same page yet. They're
But
not
it was funny
they're
where
not ready to come
but
back
that's why
together
you
yet.
said, but do they have birds in the desert? Because I
They're
know that's a deal breaker for you.
birds everywhere.
Yeah.
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 But
It was so sweet. It was so
I don't know. I
sweet
think
for a
after
whole 1 minute.
I think after the queen shows up, because she's going to show up at some point, right? Maybe he won't want the desert quite as bad. Maybe like
Yeah.
let's go far away from the desert and all of those
Let's
Egyptian
yeah.
peoples. Let's go
Like,
far away.
oh hell, she crazy. We gotta go. We're going anywhere but here. Yeah.
Gonna go to the forest.
I kind of just like giggled though, like when he was talking about living in a trailer in the desert. I mean, my brain went totally to like Kill Bill, like
Oh,
Bud's
Bud.
place. Imagine him in their hat and their Hawaiian shirts and their rifles filled with salt.
imagine what
But
people
like
would
rock
say
salt.
about them in the trailer park,
it's a nice trailer. It's got a black mamba infestation problem, but otherwise.
Yeah, that's where I went for like a
And there's
whole
a miscellaneous
minute
mushed
and a half.
eyeball in the carpet. but-
Oh,
I told you, no, it's Armand's. I told you this
I
is
was
how
gonna
it's
say
gonna go.
Armand
This
would
is the
want it.
second time I've made a Kill Bill reference
Oh my
in
God.
this vampiric world. Not even intentional. I don't walk around making Kill Bill references every day of the life. It just happens to be that these guys are probably
Sometimes it happens. What can you do?
painting a kind of a cool fan fiction show
So,
for us.
Well,
And I
there
think-
there were some swords in this, so
I think we now come to it. I mean,
Yeah.
They're talking.
Yeah.
They're talking about the
I
desert.
mean,
and
they like barely touch each other's hand against each other's
Yeah.
hand, and they're kind of sitting there, and you think, "Oh my God, they're gonna kiss! They're gonna kiss! They're gonna kiss!" But no, because there's creepy stalker over there looking
No, they
at them.
can't kiss because Alex is over there looking like a Dracula rebel without a cause. Too cool for summer school, this guy. Leaning against the post.
with the
looking
Halloween mask on.
curious.
Yeah.
And they do this like, what do you want, why are you here kind of thing, and that's it. Suddenly heads are
Oh,
rolling.
it's so juicy. Why they didn't need to have all those juicy sounds.
I'm like, I was half zoning on the episode because I figured it was over and the music was about to kick up, and all of a sudden I'm like, what? I stopped it, brought it back 10 seconds, and
they flip the camera so they're facing them, and then they flip it
right.
around to see them walking away. So Daniel cut Lestat's head off. Louis cut off. Armand cut Louis's head off. And I just have to say, neither one of them did nothing to you guys. You don't have to cut their heads off. Come on. I was sitting there. Were you guys shocked? Everyone was shocked, right? One of the best Cliff Avenues ever. I was like, no, 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 no. Pick up that head. Pick up that head. And we got no previews for next week.
Nothing.
No, there were.
No, there was no previews
There were
for
not.
next week.
There was.
They went right into the after show. They went right into the making of.
There was,
after
because
show.
there was a guy in a fedora who I didn't recognize. There was bowling.
I didn't see
There was?
any either.
Well, you know what I'm going to do when we're done here? I guess I
Yeah.
know what I got
I
to
didn't
go
see it
do.
either.
It wasn't on. I always stream on AMC,
So did
AMC
I.
Plus, and it was not on either time I watched. Did
Huh.
not show it.
Yeah.
Maybe you have to live in Florida. I don't know. I'll have to go search it up then. Okay, I got to look that up.
I don't know. I mean, they didn't show either of them.
Well, of course they're not
Right.
going to.
But, I mean, clearly.
So what do you guys all think is going to happen?
Well, we know they're not dead. I mean, clearly, because
we've had a lot of discussions about how long a human head or a head could last off a body. So, I mean, maybe not a lot,
done,
but we
right?
did have at least one.
This whole season.
Finally, something to do with the damn blood of Akasha. Finally, we heard about that shit all season.
And
it's not the blood; it's what you do with the blood.
That's right. Oh my God, that was very funny.
Yeah.
That was such a funny moment because they were like, "We're ridiculous." And so he gave Louis a little booster, like a little Akashic booster, like for his. I hope that helps. I hope that gives him it was enough. A couple drops pellet. Extra. There's a lot of things here that they didn't that I have questions about, and I trust the show because anytime I've had questions, it ends up coming back. Like in the first season of Interview with the Vampire, there's a part right after Louis turns that they have Lestat and Louis speak telepathically. Well, we know that can't happen between Maker and Fledgling, and they ended up fixing it in the second season and calling it like whatever, unreliable narrator. So it was like the first inklings of, oh, maybe he doesn't remember this correctly. And so, now we have them not reading. I don't understand how it was that no one picked up on Alex.
Yeah.
Right. Daniel got into Louis' head.
And
what did he get out of his head?
There was also the very, very non-consequential
Alex, because you made him
comment about Larry's suicide, right? It was like, oh yeah, Larry's suicide. Moving on. Like we didn't get anything in the story where like what was Lestat's thoughts on Larry's suicide. Like,
well, I was thinking that maybe Armand convinced Alex that Lestat.
It was Lestat's fault.
Who
none of that would have happened, even if he didn't think he did it. Drove him to do it because drove him to quit the brand, drove him to be depressed. I mean, even at that,
he's never good enough. 82 takes.
But the way he was sitting out there, Lestat calls him mute Alex. So you go like, is he not talking? Was he talking about how the fact that he can't read his mind and vice versa? Gabrielle is their makers of the band. She turned the band. So none of them.
So Gabriella did.
Because Alex needed his mommy,
she
right?
Can't do it all.
How do we know that?
Because when Alex is leaving,
Lestat says.
Lestat says to her,
Alex could use some time with his mother or something.
Yeah, go take care of your son. Yeah, he needs his mother right now or something. She is his maker. I would only assume that she did the other two too. Maybe not, but I feel like Lestat knows that they would lose that telepathicness, and this is his band, I would think like that would be a good thing for
Yeah, it's a good tool.
Dude, can
Yeah.
you imagine being able to
Yeah.
read your band members' minds on stage? That would be such an
I mean,
amazing
let's
show.
be honest. They really don't need to read the bassist's mind, in
I
so
don't
much as he
know.
has one.
I don't know.
He comes up with some pretty
maybe
good
he's
titles.
smart now. Maybe the vampiric blood
No,
has helped
he's
him.
not, because he admitted that his original title for the song was going to be Dick Salt. So I don't know. I don't know
I
that he's
mean,
necessarily a whole lot
But
smarter.
we
than
haven't
he
heard the
was.
lyrics to Dick Salt. Maybe
think
that,
it's
maybe those
awesome.
lyrics, maybe that's a good song. We don't know.
Maybe she hits, Mammy. It's really great. Oh, those bassists always find a way into our heart, don't they? Though.
Yeah, they're good
At the
times.
after party, somebody's like, "Hey, can you grab me the tequila salt?" And he goes, "No, we just have Dick Salt, man."
No, see, maybe Dick
Oh,
Salt,
God.
maybe that's the name of a guy.
You got to put the Dick Salt on the rim. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, but I think that would be uncomfortable. I don't think that would feel good, honestly. Don't try that at home, kids.
Don't try
But
it
yes,
at
I have a
home.
lot of questions. I think Dr.
You and-
Farid is
here's
going to
another
be, need to
question.
come find them.
I have another question.
Okay.
Where is Shezitz? Where's the body double? What's happened to him? Does he come into play in any of this?
Well, they said they sent him back to, was he from the Czech Republic? Is that what they
Sure.
said? He went back, Yargan, he's back home.
Yargin.
So, so he's back home, maybe, but also Gabriella. So I think he saw Alex outside his window standing there.
Right at the beginning of the episode.
I think Alex was following them around well, obviously he sees them at the rehearsal. I think he follows them around all night.
If you watch this episode, they're under surveillance the whole time. Somebody walks by them when they're walking in the restaurant and says, "Obey the 5 laws."
Right.
And hands Lestat a paper. So
dressed as a ghost, right?
This crew.
Oh, well, they're walking down the street. Yeah.
They're under surveillance the whole time. And my guess is that this was such a messed up night that maybe Daniel got in Louis' head and said, all this is going to happen. And
they're so distracted.
They're so distracted. This is the perfect time to do it. Like they've got the concert tomorrow. They've just had this intense moment at the rehearsal. You know, like what better time to strike where they're not paying attention.
And we know there's a lot of vampires in town because I mean the concert's the next night. They said in the woods, so who knows where that will be. And when they walk into Louis' restaurant, they basically like start to applaud Lestat. So these are, he is becoming kind of like this face. This is, we're getting the brat prince, we're getting the Prince Lestat, we're getting the,
and then the whole thing with the girls outside of the car, and he leans out and sings.
Yes. And I almost had a feeling that girl that they bring in, the La Chapelle, the distant relative, I almost had a feeling like she actually works there. And it's probably on the menu of oh my gosh, would you like to taste a distant relative of Lestat, the vampire Lestat? I mean, wouldn't that be your highest priced item to get a little nibble of that? You know what I mean?
That's the Pappy Van Winkle of vampire liqueur.
Yes.
And considering that it's like Louis' restaurant, and that might be the thing that is offered at his restaurant is really funny.
No, it is, right?
Yeah, they both just take advantage of each other so much.
We do have to mention, just for perfect symmetry, that when they enter, the maitre d' calls Louis, "Good evening, Mr. Pitt."
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we had Cruz and we've had Pitt. So good stuff.
Oh yeah, he is Thomas Pitt.
Yes.
Thomas Pitty
is his face, his fake name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thomas Pitty.
When you were talking before about the foreshadowing and them being, followed the whole time, remember what Sophia said to Louis at the thing? Stay close to me. There's a lot of people that like you, but there's a lot of people, here from. And she named a couple places, and she said, "And Detroit." So
she knows what he did.
There may be a different motivation here than what we think.
There might be some Fang Gang action. I think that Gabriella does not
Team Tooth.
Team Tooth, Tooth Club. I think that Gabriella wants to protect Lestat. She has a game in mind here. She kind of wants them to do the whole make more, the rise of the vampire
Yes,
and
yeah.
this
Mhm.
planet, and why are we in the shadows? She wants to just do whatever she wants, no rules. Um, and she sees Lestat as that person that's going to unite, the voice that's going to unite them all. Right? He says, "I wrote them an anthem. This is
Well, he said it
what
was
they're
my
going to."
final gift to the vampiress
Yeah.
Gabrielle.
And so, yeah, everyone's coming into town. Armand's getting, I mean, he's already told Louis to stop. Lestat to stop. He wants
Yes,
Lestat not to
yes.
do this.
Hmm.
This is a
Yep.
bad idea, Lestat. And then I think now he was following him. And when Alex got off the bus that night, Armand just followed him into town, right? Got his hooks into him, sent
Hmm.
him
Yep.
back as a minion that he could just like get all the information of what they're doing. He's tried to stop this concert, tried to stop the band. It's the night before. He's super like, we got to do it now because like what's going to happen? And I think he wants to take them out to stop the concert, but they walked away.
Well, does he though, or is it just the revenge for the Big Boss diss track
No,
and the
I
public
think
humiliation? I mean, you're giving
It
Armand
probably wasn't.
a pretty
uh,
noble
Yes, but
motivation, and I'm not
but
sure I'm buying that.
well,
okay,
I'm not.
David. I would say this, if I may. That's just the icing on top of the job that needs to be done. Like
Yeah, he was already
because
wanting him to stop before he heard the diss track.
the fear that a lot of the vampires have, it's not just like, oh, you're breaking the rule. They're terrified to be discovered.
Like, what happens if the humans know?
Yeah, like there is a very large group of them, the bigger portion of them for most of the story that is growing and very against what he's doing, because the idea could very much be like do you take out the dictator before they become a dictator kind of like
Mm-hmm.
energy to it. Not that Lestat's the dictator, but that idea of like stop the problem at all costs. At all costs, even if we have to cut people that we wouldn't necessarily, But I think because Lestat has this, and Sophia really, that have had these issues with Armand, and then the stuff with Louis and the bad blood that's there. I mean,
And then him
Armand is
turning
so,
Daniel because
yeah.
Daniel was, and there's like,
Armand is like an incel in a lot of ways. Like there's some serious incel energy.
I mean, he
with this
did
guy.
live in the catacombs of Paris for a real long time in rags and dirt. Like,
and like anytime he tries to like love
thought they were evil.
He tries to love somebody, they're like,
You know what? But he just
you're
needs to work
very
on
nice.
himself
You're
a little
nice
bit.
guy. Like it's there. He's
You're a
almost
lot.
getting. You know what? Is he had probably a few frisks with Lestat, and then Lestat like did reverse friend zoning. Like he's stuck in it.
Again, to be the contrarian on this podcast, this is just for fun. But I have to say, Armand's plan worked. He was pretty.
Did
he was pretty on his game and got two for one.
But I don't think he would have done that if they had just if Lestat had stopped. I think that would have been it. But it's getting crucial, and there's all these vampires in town, and I can't even imagine what their heads sound like right now with like picking up all the stuff. It's gonna be like kind of busy.
Can you imagine for a minute
noisy.
the conversation that Armand says to Daniel and says, listen, this is a thing that's happening and like we have to stop it. And we've tried all these different things. And I'm afraid the only other option we have is to behead them. And then Daniel's response to that, I'm sure, would be something along the lines of like, I get a noble reason for doing it. Like, I don't think it took anything to talk Daniel into doing it. I think he's
see.
Like,
okay,
screw these guys. I'm going to make so much money when they're gone.
Oh my God, how much will he make?
Well, that's the end of his
die?
documentary right there.
Well,
Exactly.
And they were
Right.
beheaded.
These
But
are
I
all the
don't even
awards I'm
think-
going to get.
I don't even think Armand has to talk him into it. I think
No,
Armand has
exactly.
that, like he has that power to suggest things to people
And then it just
and
becomes the thing.
manipulate it in any way he wants. There's no way Daniel wasn't going to go along with him. Once Daniel let down his guard and he told him how much he loved him, then Daniel
Mhm.
was like ripe for the pickens, I feel like.
Okay, Christy.
But
So
I
I have
don't
a,
think
bu-
that
I have a,
anyone
I think the
I
same
don't
thing
think he
with
would have had to
Alex.
manipulate him. I think that's what's the funny part about it is he's with a great manipulator, but I don't think he had to use that tactic on Daniel because I think Daniel's all like, yeah, screw this guy. I'll go cut his head off. He's an asshole.
I
Like,
think it's going to end up in the end being that all of that was because Armand once again was manipulating him. Because I don't think that Daniel would really
I mean, he has
be
been
like this to
apparently
them.
like puppet master for 52 years. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. That
that's a
would really
lot.
mess with
Yeah.
you. But like in the books, they're like one big family at some point after this thing
after a
that
few
they do.
drinks at Christmas.
After they do this thing, they're like, I mean, all of these people do. Everybody loves Lestat. All of the vampires love him. They've made him a lot more messy in this, or harder to love, but also easier to
Mhm,
love. I
mhm.
don't know. It's so hard.
He
He's
was
a
very
wild one,
beloved.
but they
So,
love him.
Christy, I have a couple of questions
Okay,
as an ignorant in all this, just from watching the show.
as a cabbage.
Okay. Yes, as a cabbage. Um, two questions and then an observation.
Okay.
Question number one. Has Armand ever violated the code by killing another vampire before this?
Directly by his hands. Is that,
Directly
like, what?
by his hand.
Yeah, his influence all the time, but well, Nikki, right?
Okay, that doesn't happen in the books. Like, oh,
Oh,
yes,
okay.
Nikki, I
Okay.
guess. Maybe Nikki. Maybe that's all, but that's considered a mercy killing, right? That was maybe in accordance with the 5 laws, right? You have to take down someone who's a danger to the coven. I don't know.
Is
But
it like
no,
the
you know
Walking
what? I
Dead 3
don't.
questions? Like,
But just a
I'm thinking,
cold-blooded murder of another vampire. This is probably the
okay.
first time he's done it with his own hands.
I am not thinking of any of them, but I
Okay.
could be wrong. But I can't. None are coming to mind.
Okay, now question 2. If this happens and their heads come off, can Lestat reach out to Sophia or anybody and say, like, hey, I'm in trouble, 911, like I'm laying on this
I'm
part.
at this morgue.
Vampires
Okay.
come here immediately.
That was one of the thoughts that I had. And it wasn't really, could he reach out? What I was thinking was when they leave the rehearsal and Gabriella's kind of like, she gets the whole thing of the Louis thing. Like that was a revelation for her, I feel like. And I wonder if she wasn't somehow kind of tracking them. She can't talk to Louis. She can't talk to Lestat, but she could talk to Louis. And I wonder if she was kind of like following them around. I totally think that just happened and she's going to whisk in and help them out because she was following them around.
Can I ask
knowing
a
they were gonna
follow-up
be
question off of that?
maybe not.
I have a follow-up question off of what you just said. Do you believe that if that's the case, like she is following them around, do you think that Sophia saving Lestat and Louis, or just Lestat,
But
or
she's
whatever,
so called her
like being there, like saving them, it would be more about that she had a plan she needed to have succeed, right? Because this big plan
She wants
they
the
put together
conversion,
with the
so it doesn't
vampires, yeah.
happen without.
It's not about I have to save my son. Like I love
But-
him.
It could
Y
be
por qué no
both.
los dos? It can be both, yeah.
Okay.
I think it could be both. I mean, it does serve her also, but it, but I think when she saw,
And that's kind of what I think it is with Daniel.
like, okay,
it does serve him to chop off a head.
I get that they portray this as she's jealous, or that's kind of what it comes across as. But I think if you really go back and and think about the conversations her and Lestat have had this season, you will find that Lestat needs Gabriella way more than she needs him.
Oh, definitely.
My maker called, I came, and she's been there. Now she's using him for something, but once this something is over, I don't know that, is she going to drag him around forever?
No.
She will eventually get tired of that. She will
So
eventually just
you're
leave
saying she
one
sees
morning.
Louis and it's, oh good, he has someone.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But
On
again,
some
I
level,
think
yes.
something that's interesting when we think about the time frame. This is probably the longest time she's spent with him since they were
Oh,
humans.
yep. Yep.
Like, you know, if this is a 2-year time frame, even assuming the band rehearsed for a year, if she's been in his life for a year, like they just sort of saw
That's a
each
long
other in
time. Yeah.
passing for a long time. And for her, and I got the feeling when she was watching the song that I think she's been a little more, her heart's melted maybe 1 degree.
I think it's because she sees a purpose, right? Like she's got whatever it is her ultimate plan is. I think that's kind of giving her something, right? It's like Lestat and Louis were talking about. It's like if you don't have death to worry about because you're immortal, what are the things that are going to like,
What matter?
you know what I mean? Yeah, what
Yeah.
matters. So maybe she has something, so she stuck around longer for that reason. But usually she does not. She says, I'm no one's mother, I'm no one's wife, I'm no one's anything. I'm myself. I don't belong to anybody.
Mm-hmm. It's also a
So yeah.
bit like when she encourages Lestat to go fight the wolves.
Yes.
It's what a lot of it feels like, because now
Because
not only do I can prove that your existence, like I had something to do with this, and simply by being your mother in this world. And but
Well,
then
and
also,
and that's what's ultimately going to convince him to do the concert. If she's the one who
yes,
helps him repair himself, he's going to say, "See, the other side will do everything they possibly can do to destroy you."
when he's trying to explain to Louis, he tells Louis straight that because of her, I could see a life outside of the Auvergne. Like I could leave
mm-hmm.
the chateau
Mm-hmm.
and go out into the world because she told me that was possible. Like she like breathed dreams into him.
so. She's gonna put
Yeah.
some salve on him and then give him a handy, and he'll be ready to go for the concert, right?
He's good to go.
I don't
For
know.
convergence.
He just went through a traumatic experience. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
really
a
interested to
little
see
bit.
how this goes because there in the books there are times when body parts need to be fixed. And Fareed is involved with that. But
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know. Are they going to be able to do it right there on the park bench? Pop it back on, like, prick your finger, rub some of your vampire blood on it, woo, and now it's fixed. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen here. But they did say the thing about the 2 hours. So is she going to just pick him up and whisk him away, fly him away?
Is this gonna be
I
like
don't
the
know.
pit? Like we're gonna have like a running clock and somebody has to put his head on before the
Is
time
she
runs
gonna
out?
take Lestat to save him, but leave Louis there? I mean, a lot of things could happen.
Okay, here's another thought. What if Daniel and
What
Armand maybe they're the ones that take the body in the heads, and they just put him in a place where they can't get out, and then they're
I thought of
repaired,
that too.
and they're
Yeah.
just prisoners, so that they can't do the thing. They didn't actually
Yeah,
kill
but they
him. It
were
was
all
just the only
walking
way to stop
away.
him.
I don't think they were intending to.
Unless they
We
have
need to go and rewind
some
and see
fang
if they
games, you go pick them up.
we need to go back and rewind and see if, like, when they took their masks or the cloaks off or whatever, if they like high-fived.
They did not.
If they high-fived, that'll tell us everything.
They did not. But man, the way they turned around and walked away, that was like natural born killers. Those
Yeah.
two got together.
Which they are.
They are, and they're in
naturally
love.
born,
They're in love.
unnaturally born killers.
Wow. Really, there are a lot of things this episode. They pack a lot in.
Great
Yeah.
episode.
Yep.
It was.
Yeah,
It was
great.
fantastic.
And what'd you guys think of that? The songs.
I liked him. I don't love that rendition of Dancing with Myself. I don't really love
I
any
didn't at
rendition
first.
of it.
I didn't either.
But I did
But then-
enjoy the silliness of
That's what I
his
thought. It was
performance
fun.
in it.
They have the Paso Doble part. They have the traps section where it's like he's kind of like just playing, and that was kind of fun.
Yeah. As far as the other song, it was a beautiful love song. The strings could do more.
That was awesome.
The way he's orchestrating, and I think all of that's like Louis, like, wow, look at you, like you. Wow, okay, you really are a musician.
You're not being a pest or silly or unserious. You are in it. You're in your thing.
What if the band comes and saves him.
Well, I had
Sandler
the
TC
thought
show.
it would be hysterical if it just
That's a
Salamander
Saturday
walks
morning
along,
cartoon
pops her
I
heads
am
back.
ready to watch.
Hey,
I
hey,
want it.
hey,
So I do.
What
hey,
if they
hey,
put him on the
Alex.
wrong
We have
head?
creative differences, Alex. You're gonna need to leave the band.
What if they put the wrong head on the wrong body? What happens then?
What if they put it in the wrong direction?
After
They
this
might.
concert, my head's going solo.
There you go. There could be a lot of things. There's a lot of things that could happen. I don't know.
Okay, they
Do
did say
you?
something else. I just thought of something.
Okay.
When they were talking about Antoinette, the two of them, he
Yes.
says, you made her cut her finger off. And he said, she
Right,
did that
right.
herself. She
Yep.
thought she could grow it back. She could not. They made that comment too. Oh my gosh. Wow. They really put it in there.
They put them on, and then
They're not
Christy,
going to grow a body back or a head back. There's not going to
you
be
were
two of each of them.
you were speaking, Christy, before we started recording. You were talking about another tie-in with Daniel and the bowling alley lane in the opening credits.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I've seen some stuff online, but the one that really got me was in the opening credits. We get all of this imagery, and it's very cool. I go back and watch and see what you guys think from it. I really pay attention to it. But there's a part where we saw the bowling alley, where it's a bowl going down an alley toward the end where the pins are, but right above it is a neon of Lestat's head.
Yep.
And you go like, oh, that's so the bowling ball is going to go through his neck where his neck would be, right? And who's the bowler? Daniel, who actually wielded the sword that cut his head off. And I just feel like, oh, they were telling us how it was going to happen and who was going to do it.
And his head's going to
Nuts.
be in a bowling bag next week. So, got to carry him somehow.
If they go to a bowling alley, I would give big money for somebody to go, shut the F up, Danny.
Donnie.
Yes,
I know it's
it would be
Donnie in the
good.
movie, but I'm talking
But in
about
this,
Malloy.
Danny.
Shut the F
Please,
up,
yes.
Danny.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't know. I got to
you,
go back and check off what imagery has not come onto the show.
Yeah,
at some point,
I was going to say, do you have
What's
any idea?
left?
I don't think that we've seen the beating heart. But I think that one might be.
Someone's going to get their heart ripped out.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Akasha's going to rip out some hearts.
One of those good, like the priest got. Like it's gone.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
So
Ooh.
I don't know that one. If we've seen that one, but there's a bunch of other ones. It's as the season has gone by, you start seeing more and more.
You start to get
imagery.
it. It clicks. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. Well, if you have any, I know that next week we're going to be talking about the finale, but if you have any predictions and you want to throw them out there just to see if you were right or not, or anything else that you would like to send feedback about, you can send us that feedback at tallythefeedback at yahoo.com. And you have found us here either at Crazy Hanks or at Tally the Votes YouTube channel, but you can also find us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast at the Jay and Jack Whole Enchilada feed. And if you would like to receive all of the extras from that feed, including Tally the Votes Big Brother coverage, Survivor with JJC, the Ramblecast, or the broadcast, then you should join at Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/jayandjack, and we would like to thank those Patreons who contribute at a certain level, and they are Eckhart Rickner, Joanne with a Plan, Maggie the Magnificent, and Ed the Creepy Poopy-Headed Mailman. And if you have enjoyed any of this nonsense, please hit like and subscribe. We need you to do it. We need you in order to thrive. We have no personal means in which to create the great convergence on our own. So hit those buttons, please.
It's hard writing an
If
anthem.
you don't subscribe or leave comments, we will release dick salt.
You
Nobody
do
needs
not
that.
want that. All right, fledglings. It's all leading to this. There's one more episode.
One more.
Is there any other predictions? Is there any other, do you have
today I was like, what am I going to do for the year and a half, 2 years between, because it's going to be a long time, I bet you again. I hope not, but I'm trying to prep myself for the worst.
I'm gonna be sad.
And it's gone really fast, and we've gotten so much amazing content from them this year, really stellar season. I'm really
I
excited to see what
I
happens.
will say
Yeah.
I thought 7 episodes were too few at the beginning, but now having seen them in the pace they've sustained, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't stretch it to 10.
Yeah, and I
Yeah, they,
understand that there are people that are always going to be very, very protective over original source.
mm,
It's how you fell in love with it. I get it. You always have your
yeah.
own version of this within that. But to all of those that have been complaining on this season about the changes that have been made, like I just have to say, like, that's fine. You can protect your source, but you clearly do not understand amazing TV when you see it because it has
I
been
mean,
fantastic.
Well, and it's
you
a
said
TV
you,
show
Really,
based on what, a 40-year-old book, right?
yeah,
yes.
it's a
I
highlight
mean,
of
I
my
mean,
week. Like
you
I
have
love
to
it.
change it to make it work. They didn't have
Hmm.
cell phones in the book.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And you said just
Yep.
recently you introduced the show to some book lovers that we hadn't
Yes.
watched it till now. We're
Yep.
kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And you
We
said, no,
watched
no,
two.
no, check it
You
out.
gotta come
Oh,
check it out. And we watch 2 episodes every Tuesday. So we start at the beginning. I got to watch the first and second episode for the first time doing a rewatch after having seen this story from Lestat's point of view. And girl, it changes the rewatch. Like I'm excited to listen to people who've done a rewatch after seeing things through Lestat's eyes. It's a
Oh
whole new
yeah.
flavor. It's a
It's a
whole
whole
new
new
flavor.
flavor.
Yeah, it's pretty brilliant. But okay.
Mm.
Well, guys, we're going to be back here next week for the finale coverage on Monday. If you're a fan of Big Brother, then you can join us here on Thursday nights after the first eviction and any eviction following that. But until then, my dears, it was enough that you showed up. Good night.